Hello everybody, my name is Victor and welcome to an amazing episode of ARAP podcast. That is apparently the name, ARAP podcast. I hope you are ready. We are ready. I am probably ready. I've always been ready. My name is Victor. I am the host of this show, one of the best hosts, probably the only host, and definitely the only host you should be listening to. Today, Tribal is not away, so he will be represented by Winnie the Tigger, just above my head there. And, but today, we have Mr. Modbro.
Hello.
We also have Scott Rinconius. Hello, Scott.
Hi.
How are you, Scott?
He's also drinking a scotch, if that helps.
Scotch and Coke.
Alliteration always helps, my friend.
And this week, represented by Tigger the Winnie.
The poo.
I don't get this.
Tigger the Pooh. Is Bo BMG.
Hey, what's up?
Welcome to the show, Mentalgen. How are we?
Yeah, good, thank you.
You
Yeah.
doing alright? Okay, so we're going to start off with a bit of maintenance, which I didn't write in the document because I'm an asshole. Just a bit of maintenance, you know, because it's a show in, and it's good to keep everyone informed as to what's actually going to happen. As you can see, already doing a good job of just dragging it out to goddamn nowhere, which I'm very good at, but don't worry, we have...
Hashtag cool bananas.
We have cool bananas in play, so hopefully that won't happen. So, first things first, schedules for releasing and whatever. Video versions, I'm hoping to get out as soon as possible. That's it. I just want to get them out as soon as possible, and they will all be released on YouTube. Just YouTube, nowhere else. Easiest place, most popular place for everyone to watch videos, on the YouTube channel.
If you're watching videos anywhere else, you shouldn't be.
Exactly. Then you're watching a pirated version and you're going to prison, bitch. So yeah, video versions go out as soon as possible. Audio versions are all done by Tribal. He edits them and gets them ready. As of the day we're recording this, the first episode, which we're going to call the prologue episode, is not out in audio versions. The audio versions will go out on Twitter and iTunes and Stitcher, probably about a week delayed. I don't want them to, and they don't need that much editing either, so it shouldn't take Tribal too long. Like a good sit down just to listen through it and be like, okay, I need to cut that, or when like Scott joined late, shit like that, just to clean it up a bit. And it will be a week delayed, which should give you a bit of incentive to actually go to our YouTube channel. Hopefully. It's a big old scheme. We're just making you go to our YouTube channel. That's the whole bit. And our next bit of maintenance is I've appointed a new position in the network. The lovely and fantastic, with a beautiful head...
Hang on, go back. I have appointed a new position in the network. Adjust camera to a new position.
Thank you.
Good old physical humour.
Intended.
Right, now that we've covered that on, let's move on.
Yeah, cool bananas. Mr. Modbro, I have just appointed, against his will, the community manager of my entire network.
No, I haven't accepted yet.
No. That's what against your will means.
Oh.
As community manager, Modbro, you will keep doing everything you are doing, but I'm just calling you the community manager so people know to follow Modbro on Twitter.
Okay.
Yeah? You don't have to...
Sounds cool.
Community managers don't got to do shit. You just get complaints, yeah?
Oh yeah, okay, I'm fine with that. Yeah.
The whole, like, here's the thing. Because other podcasts don't have, well, other networks, don't have community managers, and I personally think a community manager is a very important thing to have. Just so it's not like some kind of ploy where it's like, okay, everyone go talk to Modbro and don't bother me. Leave me alone. I don't want your bullshit. No, I love talking to the community, and it's the best part when someone on Twitter you don't even fucking know is like, hey, Victor, love the work you've been doing. I'm like, oh yeah, it's fucking awesome. Scott, how awesome is it to have someone you don't even know come and appreciate your work?
Well, actually, I actually just got done not long earlier this evening doing some shoutcaster training for Smite. because we've got like 6 casters max in the community at the moment. So for the Australian community, so I did that, and then after that, I was chatting to a friend of mine, and he's just like, "Dude, I knew you from League of Legends days." I've just met this guy like 2 months ago, and now we're really, really good friends. And this is the first time he's ever brought up that he knew me from League of Legends days. So people that love you and follow your shit are fantastic. I love those guys.
Yeah, so that doesn't mean go to Modbro
That's cool.
and direct it all to Modbro. Like, we love that.
Seriously, direct all your hates, Modbro.
Yeah, but the purpose of the community manager is quite simply to make sure the community is happy, and we want the community to be happy with us. Like, I'm in T-Force, and I see where the issues are, and I think, if we had someone who was the community manager, we shouldn't really have these kind of problems. So, here we go.
Okay, well, my first announcement is, as community manager, if you have any legit constructive criticism, please feel free.
Yes,
Hit me up.
because he was taking them today, and it was
If
awesome.
not, if you have a deconstructive criticism or criticism that helps no one, I've invented a new Twitter account. It's at someone that cares. It's at someone that cares. So direct it at someone that cares, and surely I'll get back to you as soon as I can. And I'm just going to make a note to actually create that account.
Eventually.
It's probably taken.
It better not be.
This time next week, Trinity Force
Sounds good.
Network will have a community manager.
maybe about 8 months down the track.
They already have one. They've had one for ages. There was Rundown had Mott. He was their social media and community management, and I don't know the actual T-Force. I'm guessing it's Declawed because everyone loves him.
No, it's you want to know who it is? It's Chira Jaden.
Oh, Chira, yeah.
It's Chira Jaden.
Everyone loves Chira.
Yeah, well,
Lovely.
he's approachable. I asked him. I asked him for a follow and a DM, and you get it straight away. So he's pretty good. But he's when I say he's the community manager, I say he's the self-appointed community manager because there isn't one. But I guess Mott does sort of handle all of that stuff because I think he takes like calls and whatever. I don't know what he does. Like, I'm not, when I say I'm in T-Force, like, I'm not really in the heart of T-Force. Like, they got their main little circle and whatever, and I'm way on the outside because, like, the only people that get known in Oslol is just Carrot. Like, none of them really know me, Scott, and Steve all that well, so we're pretty much outsiders. I don't know if you've been on their Slack channel, Scott, have you?
Cool bananas.
Yeah, good point. Let's get into our topics. Scott, help us out. 'Cause I
Well
can't
played.
see shit.
Alright, so this week, because I've been appointed semi-permanent maybe host for reasons unbeknown to us and probably
the
known
name's
to Tribal
Guy.
Line.
Let's just call it for now Tribal's understudy.
Guy.
Guy,
That
Tribal's
shit.
understudy. We love your rank, but Tribal, come back to us.
Come back to us, Tribal.
Come back, Tribal.
Look into his eyes. Look, I can't not look into
Try
his eyes.
saying no.
Why would you leave us, Tribal?
Okay, that's getting a little creepy, Mon, bro. Cool bananas.
Yeah.
Deal.
Cool.
So, our topic for this week is going to be esports versus real, actual, IRL, physical, not chess, sports, which is probably going to equal figure skating. Let's be honest here.
Yes, good point.
Fair
So, okay, so quite simply, this is discussed forever and ever and ever and ever and ever. Is esports actually a real sport? Is this something we should actually consider like an Olympic sport at some point? What do we think? I want to hear from Bo first, because Bo is a figure skater. And I've had this discussion with Bo.
Representing.
And I've had this discussion with Bo before because, well, go on, Bo. Talk about figure skating.
Well, I'm going to talk about in terms of Australian leagues and everything, because I don't think going into the whole world scheme is good for me, because I haven't been in the ISU and stuff like that, so I don't really know about that stuff. But in terms of Australia, going to when we went to PAX together, Vic, that was like more people than what we get at a national competition. Like at our nationals, we get like a couple hundred people or whatever, and that's for like a whole week, right? And this is like, professional competition, like, highest in the country type thing. And, we have to pay to go do that, and we don't get paid back anything unless we come first, second, third, So it's like really strange. And then like you come into like, you go into esports and you see it has, all this money dumped into it and stuff, and like, I know Dota 2 gets all their money from the community. I'm not sure if all the other ones do that, but like,
Compendium, yeah.
Yeah, Smite's the same. The prize pool for Smite's first World Championships in January of 2015, or this year, it depends when you're listening to this, was 2.8 million, and 1.2 million of that was put in by Smite, by Hi-Res Studios. The other 1.6 million came to Hi-Res Studios through something similar to Compendium known as the Odyssey, which is where you purchased... some of it was actually in-game missions and things, where you completed things and got items straight out of that, which was really cool.
Yeah. So like with things like that, where if the community completely funds it, I'd be happy. I'd be like, well, they're putting their money into it, giving the money to other people that they just want to watch. So it's kind of like a TV show type thing. Like, you put your money into the TV show. You buy their DVDs or whatever.
You're paying for your entertainment.
Yeah, exactly like that. But in terms of a sport, it's competitive, but it's very strange to to come up with a reason why. But it's like easier, not in an insulting way, but it's so easy to become, world champion in video games, relatively. Like if you put as much time into video games as I put into skating, or as like the best in the world put into skating and stuff, you'd be on top. You'd be on top by a mile, And the difference is, it's not physically straining.
Would you say that the competition in League of Legends or figure skating is tougher?
Well, for me personally, figure skating's piss easy.
No,
I'm just too good,
Well, speaking of that, okay, so you go to a competition, how likely are you to win that?
No, not very likely.
Okay.
Depends where it is. If it's like states or something, we already know we're the best, so it's really easy. Obviously, we're probably going to come first. If it's nationals, we don't know the competition that year because it changes every year. It's like with everything. Everything changes. You don't know what's going to happen. So we rock up. There could be this new group that's like, smashes it, blitzes it. But in terms of that, it's pretty, because Australia's the smallest. Like, one of the smallest countries for skating is like, there's not much competition out there, especially for my stream. I have like 4, 5 other competitors in my division, and then I go to the next division, like same thing, 5 competitors, probably a couple of the others go up with me, stuff like that.
Yeah, whereas in League of Legends right now, I'm sitting at, I think, 87,000 in Australia.
Yeah.
So if you compare
yeah.
That's
like
ridiculous.
For me, there's easy ways to get to nationals and stuff, and that's like cheating the system. It's like paying money to win, basically, which is a lot what it is, because it's in some ways you can buy a win, but it's a buy a win, but you still have to put the physical effort into it, because there's actually a good. Yeah, there's actually a really good. I just thought of this one actually. There's a really good example of this. There's this one girl who came from, I think, South Africa or something. So basically, she's the only one that skates there, right? So obviously, if they want to choose, because when you get chosen for an international competition, you get chosen. Like, they choose you. They go, well, this is your score. You get chosen to come to this comp. So they were like, well, this person's the only skater from South Africa. They, sign him up to a junior Grand Prix, which is like, world competition type thing. And she came last by she got 20 points. 80 points was the second lowest, something like that. That was completely buy to win, because she's the only one in that country that can afford to pay for it. So that's like a buy to win to go to international. You can, you get your jacket that says I'm an international competitor and stuff, like that. So in a way, that's also crap, but
so it's
in terms of the money, in terms of the money of it all, I wouldn't want gaming to be an Olympic sport, mostly because it already has so much money in it compared to other sports. Not
soccer,
all sports,
which is
but
the world's game. So
Yeah.
soccer or football, if you
Soccer
have a
as
ball
well, yeah.
and a soccer ball, you could pretty much play like 12 sports as long as you got something to mark out as posts or something like that. Like, it's
Yeah,
so
pretty
simple.
much.
Yeah. I get you. So it's not really a world sport. It's a first world country sort of sport.
Yeah. So it's like, it's not as much with summer sports, like summer Olympic sports, like, running. Anyone can run. It takes skill, obviously, and like extreme training, but it's like, it doesn't take effort in a way that you have to go to a certain place to do this. I mean, I could walk outside right now and I could go for a run down my street, and I could train to become an Olympic runner. But, for all the winter sports and stuff, it's like you need a place to train that. And if we don't have the money in the sport to, have like a facility, like to have an ice rink.
Yeah, we don't have that in Australia
and
very often.
There's like 2 ice rinks in Melbourne, or like 3 in Melbourne. If
Two.
Two? Is that
3
both?
if you count the 2 in the one place. Yeah.
One in Newcastle. That's it.
Yeah, there's one in Newcastle. I'm coming up to Newcastle in a couple months.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
Well, let's go get a beer then.
Oh, yeah. You can get it. Yeah, cool bananas. You can get a beer.
No dramas.
Just
Alrighty. Yeah, just on that, we're speaking about, you brought up the Olympics, okay? Now, I'm personally worried that if it ever ends up in the Olympics, that would really scare me for society's sake. I've always been on the thought that we should keep it separate and celebrate our separateness, and basically have like an E-Olympics sort of thing. Like we have Worlds, just have a similar event for
E-Olympics. That actually sounds really good. Really good.
E-Olympics. Let's start that Kickstarter. But that's all I'm saying. Like, keep it separate, because I'm a little bit worried the way the Olympics are going, because they've got rid of Greco-Roman wrestling, which is one of the first events they ever had, and they've added BMX.
Oh wow!
Yeah, what's wrong with
that.
BMX? Okay, I am about to have a go at you about that, right?
Bring it. If you're going to say it deserves more of a place in Olympics and Greco-Roman wrestling, I'll slap you down, and then I'll Greco-Roman wrestle you. I'll get the oil.
Okay. BMX is a
it's
lot
limited
more
to-
television production quality, right? Do you really want to be putting 2 naked guys wrestling onto TV, right?
I'm cool with naked guys.
Are they
Wrestling.
actually naked?
Sorry, my wife overheard. She's coming in to talk. Yeah, are they on? Your fiance's on the same track.
Stay out of this, you!
Here's the thing, like that's the start of a slippery slope. If you start getting rid of those sports, like because they don't appeal to the youth, then we will have League of Legends in the Olympics by 2030, and that'll really scare me. Like,
It's
it
the
doesn't
fact
belong
that
there.
it's indecent, right? I think the Olympics and the entirety of the Olympics should be broadcast to everyone. Is Greco-Roman wrestling something that you want to be coaching your... And this is nothing against, the LGBT community, because I'm actually a big supporter of the LGBT community. There's nothing against that. I just don't think that should be promoted to a child base, and a lot of the Olympics is actually promoting sports to a child base. Sports are something that we want to be promoting to a child base to get them out. Again, nothing against esports, right? But esports is sitting down for long periods during the day playing games at a computer. If you have a look at the pro teams in esports
That's
as well...
actually changing. A lot of esports, if you go to most professional esports teams, they are changing the definition of nerd and of, what are they... Athlete? What's the term we're using for the nerd athlete? Because we can't use athlete, that's horrible.
The nathlete?
Mathletes.
The
Remember
geek
athletics?
The geek league?
I like. Oh, how about just the elite?
I like that. The elites. That's a good one.
Elites.
Yeah. Anyway,
Yeah. So we've got
That's
the
gonna start trending.
elites, and they literally have lifestyle coaches and health coaches. You've got blokes like Snoopy out there going fit with League, and he's posting on Twitter saying, "Hey, here's your." He's got 200,000 followers, and he's trying to get them fit. Like, esports is changing. It's stopping being so much of a sit in a room on your own and scream at a computer and smash your keyboard and get on YouTube for being a rager.
And that's a good reason that a lot of people are taking to rage mid-game as well, is because that they've got all this pent-up energy that they're not burning through. So, best way to deal with it is
The
Rage.
gym.
Rage, go to the gym. Which one's better? Probably going to the gym.
Well, yeah, my wife's sending me tomorrow morning.
But yeah, you mentioned Snoopy. Crepo is also another big one who's just taken on shoutcasting roles and analytical caster for the EULCS. He,
that's
early on in his career, when he started, he actually grew over and over weight, and over the course of the last 6, 8, 12 months,
Turned it
he's
around.
cut all sugar and whatnot from his diet. He stopped drinking soft drinks, energy drinks throughout his day, and going to the gym as a part of the Evil Geniuses lineup and whatnot. They were getting to the gym. You look at CLG, they've got an in-house coach. You look at the Korean region, they've all had personal coaches and whatnot for a good while as well. But going back to your Olympics topic, right, BMX, that's where we got onto this from. I raced motocross as a kid. I won an Australian title as a kid racing motocross, and I travelled around the scene for, gonna say about 6, 7 years.
Yep.
Trying to do as many title events in those times. Everything from motocross to my Australian title was actually in long track, which is essentially just an oval with longer than short track length, which I think is 800 meters. Has to be minimum of 800 meters, I think, from memory. I can't remember the specifics. Anyway, so there's a whole bunch of disciplines. It's not just motocross. You've got dirt track, which is all corners going one way and then one corner back the other way, which I think is all left and one right. Short track, long track, mini kana.
Yeah, so, where's the Olympic sport in that?
There is no Olympic sport in that. But BMX has obviously just grabbed one. So we can get a lot of people through a gate, and you were talking about the proceeds and whatnot of the event going back into the event. Proceeds for the event for clubs that are running, because every time you go to run a motocross event, you have to travel to a motocross track and to a circuit to compete that. Every one of these clubs that are doing that, I don't think there's any club in Australia that's actually running as a business. They're all running as not-for-profit organisations. So when you look at a club like that, you've got to travel to their event, and when they host a national title or a state title or anything like that, they're taking the proceeds of any gate fees. And a large proportion of the time as well, they're also staffing their flag marshals that they need at each checkpoint around the track with local SES fire people. A lot of courses do that, and then they also get somebody else to staff the gate, and the gate is gold coin donation to the local SES. So a lot of that stuff gets donated back into either the motorbike club itself or the state emergency services. So
yeah, but with bringing on BMXing into the Olympics, okay, so that's when they've brought BMXing into the Olympics, and my guess is, hey, it's a younger sport, we're going to get kids back into the Olympics. To me, that's a really slippery slope, because once you start doing that, you look at 2014 Worlds, and they got with the amount of people watching those games on stream and live, they've
even the
calculated
size
numbers,
of the stadium that they booked
the
out.
size of the stadium, and the game's only 4 years in its age, or 4.5 years, and they had 179 million viewing hours over 15 days. Now, if you want to access the kids of today, that's what they're going to do. That is ridiculous. 179 million viewing hours.
Yeah, but it's also like a thing. It's also like a thing where Olympics is supposed to be like a thing to watch, and then you look at it and you go, well, look at these people, they're all so fit, I'm going to go out and I'm going to, get fit. It's like a motivational thing to continue leaving the house. Yeah.
I've
and
always...
I feel like if they put the esports in there, that would just completely defeat the purpose.
Yeah.
Like, honestly, every time I watch an Olympics, I'm like, one day maybe. Probably
Every
not.
time I watch
one day.
Every time I watch the Olympics, I'm just going, where are these gymnasts?
Yeah, so my interpretation of what the Olympics is it's the representation of the most physically up there people on the planet. Like, this is what they've worked out, they've trained their bodies, and they've made their bodies 10 out of 10 top tier, and they're all battling each other in this big colossal event. And then I think of gaming, and gaming isn't so much about training your body physically as much as it is like a school subject that you go and you think
train
about
your
and
mind.
you
Train
it's
But
more
going
of
on that, going on that, if you like, I'm obviously not usually for esports. I do like not esports, but in like, you know, as being called a sport. I'm not usually for it. It's fun to watch. I really like to watch it sometimes. But when you are an athlete of like, you know, high caliber or whatever, if you count me as that, then a lot of it is mental, because, you know, there are some days that, you know, obviously we have like really early training hours, like, you know, wake up at, you know, 3 a.m. and we have to get there at like 5 and all that crap. So it's a lot of like mental work, and, you know, we have, you know, I've got one of my coaches who's like, you know, a really close mate of mine, because, you know, he just helps me through all the crap, because it's like, you know, it is mind bending and stuff. And if you go, and if, you know, there's a good saying that he always says to me, and he says, the day that you decide to sleep in is the day that your competitors don't. So it's like, it's always just mind games. Like, you know, especially with, of all sports, figure skating is one of the biggest ones, because if you go up to someone and you say, you know, you did shit, and they're like got really bad, like, self-esteem, you know, because we have 2 competitions for a comp, we have 2 performances. So if you go up after the first one and you go, you know, that looks shit, doesn't matter what the score is, if they've got it in their mind, they can go out there and they can stuff everything up. So it's like, it's a lot of mind games and everything. I'm sure that's with other sports as well, but
you're saying sort of like boxing, Muhammad Ali style. You can actually put them off their game just by putting to them. It's
exactly.
on that higher level.
It's like if you're playing
that little bit of doubt.
Even like for a really close view of boxing, when they're in the match, like, you know, like a fake punch. You know, like you fake the punch, you hit him with the other hand. That's pretty much what the mental game is, you know, like.
Yeah.
So, in a way, that's one thing that video games do have, because it isn't just, you can't just think of Olympic sports as a physical thing.
No, I 100% recognize it. I 100% recognize the mental requirements of sports, because I do believe sports are something that, like, for something to be considered a sport, it has to give you both physical and mental strain. I guess the one thing I wanted to say about, like, esports, more like, say, like, if League of Legends become an Olympic event, like, my issue, probably my biggest issue when I think about it is, like, say something like the 100-meter sprint will be in the Olympics forever. You will always have the 100-meter sprint forever and ever and ever and ever and ever. We don't know if League of Legends is going to last within the next 5 or 10 years. That could be something that dies off pretty quick, and then, you know, like Greco-Roman wrestling is out the door now. You know, we could have, hey, League of Legends has joined the Olympics, and then 2 years later, why isn't anyone playing League of Legends anymore? Oh, we're struggling now to get viewership on League of Legends. Oh, you know what? We're just going to cut League of Legends out. Let's get the next big esport, and it's just going to be this constant rotation of the next big video game, the next big video game, the next big video game.
Well, the good thing about that is every Olympics does get to, I think they get to remove 2 sports and add 2 sports. Something along those lines. But, like,
I think they're allowed to remove a lot, actually. As long as they replace it.
At you.
Baseball was one of them recently.
Would you say that table tennis deserves to be in there more than League of Legends?
Definitely.
Yes.
Have you played table tennis? That shit's straining. If you play intense.
Table tennis is a very, very fast sport, because the ball's so fucking light. You just bang, 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 like, that's why they say...
No, that's all right. I was going to rapid fire them. I didn't expect it. I'll chat.
Okay.
Rhythmic gymnastics.
Gymnastics, without a doubt. I was a gymnast.
Rhythmic.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
that's what I do. That's figure skating. Right there, just on the floor.
And I used to be a gymnast. Fun fact.
Yeah.
Very cool. What type?
I did a lot of trampolining and tumbling and whatever.
Which brings us to diving.
Yes.
Diving, yeah.
Yeah.
Badminton.
Yeah,
Yes.
Yeah, badminton, yeah.
Comes in the same straw as like table tennis, you know.
Okay, now this one, archery.
Yeah,
Yes.
of course.
Really?
Yeah.
Takes
I reckon
strength
a
and
little
precision.
bit. It is really hard to do.
With Ezreal, I fire off 3 skill shots in about half a second. This guy takes 10 minutes to fire 1 arrow.
No. He's given like 30, 45 seconds maximum.
I was exaggerating. But still, like, come on. Like, I don't think it should be in there, but
I don't know. Have you
milking
ever
skills,
tried
the
to
tapes
shoot a bow?
I have, and
Really, have you
bullseye
tried
first
to
time
shoot
and
an
put the bow
Olympic
down.
bow?
I tell you what, though, I'm very in favor of this Olympics idea.
Yeah,
I'm
I think
very in
Olympics would
favor
be-
of that because esports are very different from conventional sports. I think there is a
Yeah.
very big difference between them, and so I wouldn't put them in the same umbrella of the Olympics.
Okay, I actually have
I
a
agree.
release from the Olympics right here in front of me. Okay. With the inclusion to the 57-member organisation, Esports, through KESPA, which is the Korean Esports Association, has been officially recognised as a second-level sport in the Olympics, alongside competitions such as chess, car racing, polo, and cheerleading. So that's where we've got in 4 years.
So esports is a second level Olympics thing alongside chess. I think that makes sense.
Yeah,
Chess,
but what does
definitely,
they
I'd say.
list under esports, or is esports just a generic thing? Do you have to be good at StarCraft, 1v1 League of Legends, Call of Duty,
yeah.
Counter
I love it.
Strike?
It's a decathlon. It's you've got
That
to
would be
literally
the best.
play 10 games in a row and win at them all.
Yeah,
That'd be so good.
esports is because that's the thing. Like
Speed running! I've got it! Speed running! It's a decathlon of speed running.
Oh my
Fallout
God.
3,
You have to be able.
Bioshock.
You have to be able to beat Super Mario 64 in the quickest time. That's an Olympic event now.
Dude,
yeah.
I'd watch it.
They've brought back the Nintendo Championships, so that won't go to Worlds. That'll go to
Yeah.
Nintendo Championships.
Yeah.
But that's all right. Well, I think that was a good chat. If anyone has anything to say, please feel free to contact me. I'm sure someone's going to contact me and tell me that Greco-Roman's still in there because I just found that. But feel free to hit me up and tell me I'm wrong. So get stuffed.
Well, something that we actually were making notes on and discussing slightly prior to the show was definition between well not so much definition between an esport and a regular sport. What keeps them separately defined and what are the different disciplines?
I think
also,
that's a good idea, yeah.
why will esports never or ever be in the Olympics? What's keeping them from being not so? I think I pointed out that sports don't have a patchable champion. So for
Let's before you go into that, let's just drop the Olympics thing and say why isn't it a sport in everyone's eyes? Like, when will it be accepted as a sport? Will it be ever accepted as a sport? But yeah, continue on. Sorry.
So I noted the difference between patchable boundaries, so into very, very highly interchangeable boundaries, but then you pointed out, Bo, that rules can be changed for figure skating and whatnot, but that's a different thing. That's the rules of the game itself haven't actually changed. It's the numbers of the items within the game that have changed. So it's kind of like saying, hey, we're going to change the width of the maximum width of cricket bats can only be so wide now. The handle length has to be yay long.
It's kind of like when the NBA had too many black people back in the 1970s. I'm being generalistic here, and they increased the range of the three-point line and raised the hoop sort of thing to stop everyone dunking. They started actually changing the dimensions of the court to make things more accessible or harder for each player, if you know what I mean.
But these things happen every second week in esports. And how long is it between changes in regular sports? Is that something that's a boundary line?
Yeah, maybe, but
That's a good point.
yeah, that's actually a really good point. But if you consider, I know I go into figure skating a lot. This is really the only thing I know. So if you consider like the whole thing as to be, if you talk about it as a game, if you think about a performance, from a figure skater as one game, like you played one game as Renekton or whatever, and then you do it like another time or whatever. So basically, every year there's a change in everything
schedule.
changes, scoring everything. So like it's going to sound stupid saying the names. The names
No,
are retarded, but
go ahead.
I'll say some names of some things. So like, if you go, there was like a jump. I don't know when it was, but there was a jump where there was a move added into like the regime or whatever, and it was really new. And they added it's called Twizzle. It's a really stupid name. It's called Twizzle. It's a really dumb name. And so it's called a Twizzle, and after that was created, initially created, it was added in that for my particular stream, you needed a Twizzle sequence. So it's like if you considered that to be one game, or each element, element being like part of the performance as like a champion. That's a change. That's a huge change. Like that was massive. One of my coaches can't do them because he wasn't around for that time. So
So sorry about this. So you're saying when you're coming up to the event, they'll actually say basically to make sure that your routine is current. It's kind of like when you do those 24-hour film festivals. They'll say you'll need to include a picture of the Sydney Harbour Bridge in your film.
Exactly like that.
So so they're telling you we need some Twizzlers, a Malteser, and a snake, and you'll have to do them all in your routine.
Yeah.
That's really. How long do you usually get? Like, is it like a year ahead when they give it to you, or is it like 3 weeks?
It's nowhere near that. It's like last year, one of the comps we had, we found out a week before. Like, yeah,
I just developed a whole new respect for figure skating. After this, you're going to actually tell me a little bit because I had no idea it actually did that. I thought it was just like, hey man, I can do a triple Barani head stop. I win.
So that was Victor actually came to the comp, and he probably saw we stuffed it up completely, but like, everything changed before that because that's we have a weird starting day of like season starts on March or whatever, and the season goes for a year. And at the end of the season, so many things change. Like, me and my partner, my skating partner, we were planning out, like, what we were going to do the next year. We were like, this is what we're going to do. This is what we're going to do. We're going to do this lift, all this stuff. And I'm all like, okay, that'll be sick. And we started practicing that before the rules came out. Everything changed. Like, we had 2 things that could be easier, 1 thing that was way harder. And I was just like, oh man. So it's like everything just changes. So
when you're
so
talking
they are
about doing
kind
lifts,
of like
so
lifting
you
the girl.
literally have been skating around the rink, lifting a girl above your head.
I do a sport where my stream you're not allowed to do it above the head.
Oh, okay.
No, that's right. No, but you can actually. That's really cool, dude. I don't think any woman would ever entrust me with that responsibility. So
neither does she.
The whole time she found and gagged.
That actually was a lot of their problems when I went to the comp. She didn't trust him.
Yeah, she's better now, but
But like they wouldn't even skate like that close together. Like she just wasn't that comfortable.
So that was the first comp.
Yeah, but anyway, cool bananas. Yeah, cool bananas.
Yeah, cool bananas. Yeah, so
Cool beans.
what was I talking about? What did
About
that relate to?
skating,
Yeah, so
about
about
the
the patchable. Yeah, so about the patchable. So we do have that if you consider different factors kind of relating to a different thing. Like each element counts as a champion. So that's something that changes each time. So I mean, I'm not sure if other sports do that. Probably not.
Yeah,
but,
well, swimming.
stuff like that.
Well, dancing does it.
Dancing, rhythmic
gymnastics.
gymnastics and stuff.
Yeah.
Ian Thorpe got a nerf in the swimming pool when they took his swimming suit off him. Remember when he won all those gold medals, 2000 Olympics, and then he tried to wear his swimming suit at the next Olympics, and they worked out that it actually shaved seconds off his time, and they sort of had to go at him.
And the Kathy Freeman supersuit?
Kathy Freeman supersuit, yep, nerfed as well. Australia copped a huge nerf with the supersuits.
What else was just things like soccer ball sizes and shapes and things that have changed from World Cup to World Cup. I remember the 2010 Soccer World Cup in Germany where they introduced the new ball design where it went from, your hexagon with your pentagon in between, your tessellating pattern that formed the ball. It went to like a shape like this, and then on the other side it had another shape that fit into it like this, so,
Yep.
Yeah.
there was the different
I think-
change-ups of those.
But I think
if
the
anything-
big. Sorry. I
Yeah.
still see a pretty distinct difference between, like some rules in figure skating being changed and a big page of patch notes coming out on League of Legends. Because I feel like,
that's more of a-
because the thing about League's a strategy game, and the whole thing is built around the strategy of how you play the game. Like, when some rules come out for figure skating, you're probably still going to be you're probably still going to be figure skating in very much the same way you've always been figure skating. Like, there's just minor differences, or if, like, the shape of your cricket bat gets changed, or length of the handle, you're still going to be running up and down the cricket pitch and trying to get the ball and hit the stumps. Like, it's always played the same way. And while League, the objective is always to blow up the Nexus, whenever patch notes come out that change the game, or say Thresh comes out and changes the game, or
Smite in the top lane.
Or
that's a
Smite
very
gets
good
taken in the
example.
top lane, it completely changes the way the game gets played. Like, this new season of the game, like, we're so much more focused around objectives and team movement, and that's really another thing that really helped the tanks come into meta out of the jungle when they all got buffed, and Cinderhulk and everything come out. You know, it really changed the way the game was played and the focus around the game, and it's made a lot harder just for people to, you know, just pick a carry champion, get a bunch of kills, and then just head for the Nexus. Like, yep, we're gonna do it, boys. Like, the game changes a lot more dramatically than, okay, we've added the twizzle.
But isn't that also like? But isn't that just the same as a new athlete turning up by adding a new champion or giving them extra movement speed? Like, look at Usain Bolt. He changed athletics when he turned up.
Yeah.
He literally smashed like 2 world records and like what's it, Phelps?
Yeah, but my point.
8 gold medals.
Yeah, well, my point
He's
there
OP
is.
as shit.
Yeah, but
he needs nerf.
Yeah.
Hamstring.
Yeah, I get it, but my point there is when Usain Bolt started running, the way we run didn't really change. We still made our legs go really fast and tried to hit the end of the line. We started at one spot and we finished at another. It was like,
Yeah, but that's sort of like saying we're playing the same game as the Koreans.
Yeah, no, but like
we're not.
But that's the thing. Like, esports is it's a strategy sport. Everything comes down to your strategy more than your physical condition. Like, it's all about your strategy, not so much.
Okay, let's go along a different route. Let's go back to the soccer analogy, right? You have the same 11 guys on either side. Same as League of Legends. You have five players on either side, and they can pick from their pool of 120 champions. In soccer, you have your 11 guys on the pitch. You have 3 substitutions you can make in any game, but you also have a reserves list as well. You can sub them in and out. Strategical. Is Lionel Messi going to do better against any squad? Well, he's Faker. He's the best. You pick him no matter what. But now we have Easy Hoon subbing in for Faker instead. You know, filling in games so that Faker can play specific matchups. So, Messi, do we now swap out Messi for Cristiano Ronaldo, even though they're on different teams? This is just an analogy. Cristiano Ronaldo takes a lot better free kicks. It's very, very similar to David Beckham. Very good free kicks, set plays, and headers within the box. You know, that's what you pick him for. He's very strong in and around the area. His footwork as well is fantastic, and his precision with the shots. Whereas Messi is just a pick up the ball, sprint, and outplay people on the move. That's where he gets his real his outplay performances from. Is his ability to change and adapt on the burst is the best way to put it. So, you know, League of Legends is a little bit different, but still,
there's a lot of similarities.
See, I wouldn't.
You've got 11 guys. You can run them in a format with one defender if you want, and 9 attackers. If you want to play that, you can.
Yeah. I get what you're saying. I do, 100%. Now, I wouldn't compare League to a game of soccer. I'd compare soccer more to a game of, like, Call of Duty Capture the Flag or something. Like, that's something I'd more compare it to, because a lot of your team sports aren't so much, like, because League is a slow game. League is a very slow game. You do things, and then you talk to your team, you go, okay, we're going to do this, and then you do it, and maybe it doesn't work, or, you know, you have to improvise something on the spot.
Go more like Gridiron.
Gridiron. I think that's probably I think that's a better comparison. I was gonna bring up Gridiron, American football, for those.
I was hoping you were going to bring up basketball, because basketball is League of Legends. Like, timeout. Okay.
Yeah.
Can we put that in the league, please? Right, if you're listening, add into the game professional timeouts. I mean, we get pauses, but we don't get timeout time.
That would actually be really cool.
Can we actually, that would be really cool to see it, the next year's Earth mode is for just one of the players just going, come on, give me a timeout, and he just goes, what? And the other team's just sitting there like, what the hell's going on? You know, and anyway, back to what Vic was saying.
But no, okay, look at, I went to the Olympics in 2000, got to go there, and the teams had their own metas. Like, you'd rock up, and the Russians were all just, tall, skinny blokes, and the Australians, we scored most of our points from Shane Heal from the outside. Okay, so that's your Piglet. That's your AD carry. You know what I mean? Like, whereas America had Shaquille O'Neal, who was just this dominant tank in the middle. So you literally have, just from the different countries, they've got their own way of playing the game effectively. Because in our country, we didn't have the height, so we adapted, and we created our own way of playing basketball. And we did really well. We came like third in that Olympics. We did extremely well. And America, the Dream Team, fantastic game to watch. But they just dominated because at that time, that was the best way to play basketball, with those players, that size, doing that. But I think, you know, as the years have gone by, the Russians won, then Turkey won. And, you know, it's the way I see it, it's all very similar. Like, I will say that computer games should never be at the Olympics. They should never be considered a sport, just for the welfare of the kids of the world, just because that should never be an accepted thing.
Well, think of it like, do you want to say to your daughter, go and play some sports, and then she pops on a game of League of Legends, or she sticks in the new Mario or something?
Exactly. And if you think about it, recently they had Dota, or was it might have been Heroes on ESPN2.
Heroes
and the whole of America blew up. You know, terrorists have been going on for hundreds of years trying to get them, and apparently all you're going to do is play a video game on ESPN and the whole country just blows up. And all I could think of was, why is everyone so upset? It's still entertaining.
Yeah, like, for like the TV side of things, like television, I mean, for a lot of people, sport is entertainment.
Yeah, no, I get it, but how long do you think it'll change until that? How long do you think it'll be until people actually start going, oh yeah, well I guess I'll watch that. I'm too lazy and fat to get up.
Actually, that's another point to turn into. It's entertainment. Sport is entertainment, right?
Yeah.
But let's look at WWE, where it's all about the backstory. The fight, the wrestling itself is not so much the. It's not so much the entertainment portion of it. It's the bits and pieces that happen around it.
I feel like they're already doing that in Korea. Like, did you see the Korean finals of like GE Tigers versus SK Telecom? And like they get on stage and they're like shit talking each other throughout the whole thing, and they're like, "Gorilla, what do you have to say to Faker-san?" And they're like, "Faker is a giant scrub, and I'm going to show him how to play video games."
Fireworks, flamethrower.
CLG right now. Link's just bailed and brought up an entire... Well, there's no better way to say it. Shitstorm.
Wrestling's scripted, though.
Yeah, wrestling is scripted.
That's the difference. A lot of people say it's fake. It's scripted. Which, there's a difference.
Yeah.
Unless it's Rich Gang.
It's Rich Gang. Wow. I guess.
Yeah. So if you go back onto the TV argument, right? If you look at from me, yeah, cool bananas. Yeah, if you look at it from a perspective of a person who's in the sport, right? So let's say you're playing, you're a basketball player, one of the big sports in the world, and then League, Heroes, whatever, goes on the same network, right? They're stealing airtime from the real sports. I'm going to call them real sports because one's esport, I'm just going to say it that way.
Hang on.
And then if
real, actual, IRL, physical, not chess, sports. That's what they are.
Thank you, Scott.
I'm going to call it real sports.
I'm with
I appreciate the enthusiasm.
Cool bananas.
So basically, the basketball, you're saying it owns that time on TV. Now, then if you go on to that... At a certain stage, League of Legends starts getting more viewers. Like, over time, I'm not talking now, I'm talking 10 years' time. Not even League of Legends. It's now Mod Bros House of Horrors game. It's a video game that all the kids play.
I like it.
It's got 500 million subscribers in Australia, which is really impressive considering our population. And, there's that many people that want to play it, that many people that want to watch it. Do we just drop basketball from TV?
Look, for TV, it's all about viewership and entertainment. It's not about what's on the show. It's about how many ratings and how many people are tuning in and actually watching it. Now, if League of Legends is pulling more viewers than the biggest basketball game, or if that Mayweather fight wasn't pulling as many views as the World Finals or whatever, or like a TSM versus CLG game, as fucking hyped up as they get when they come along, then I wouldn't be surprised if like League of Legends games or esports games start taking over TV time from like basketball games or football games or whatever. It all comes down to
viewership.
It all comes down to viewership.
Which is why I brought up the Worlds, which actually got more viewers than the Super Bowl and the World Championships of soccer put together.
But my counterpoint to that as well
surprise me.
My counterpoint to that as well is that the way we are tuning into these things is changing completely. We're not turning on our TVs and waiting for 12 o'clock's coming around, it's time for me program of Bold and the Beautiful. No one's fucking doing that anymore. If we want to watch Bold and the Beautiful, we jump on the internet and we look up, like, the whole, like, we look it up and we watch it on demand. Everything is very much more on demand now.
World's most boring TV show. Yeah. Oh, Bold and the Beautiful. Click.
Yeah, like everything's coming over internet. Do we want to watch it on our TV? Okay, I'll plug my laptop into my TV and I'll watch it like that, you know? We're watching things differently now.
People who watch The Bold and the Beautiful are not doing that, by the way. That's that's just...
Because people who watch Bold and the Beautiful don't know how to use a computer.
And hook it up to their TV.
And hook it up to their TV. Yeah. And the majority of people watching League of Legends are watching it on Twitch. They're watching it, you know, like they're tuning in through means other than television. So, do I think basketball will lose its time slot to League of Legends? I don't, because I think if it happens, it'll just go back to basketball eventually. Because I don't think they're going to get the viewership on television, because I don't think people want to watch it on television anymore. I don't watch TV ever. I never watch television.
My TV is my computer monitor.
It's true.
But time scheduling, right? Let's talk about that. Why do you watch LCS? You watch it because you know that it's your favorite game at your favorite time slot every week at that exact same time slot for the length of the season, yeah? You know it's happening at every Friday at midday, your North American time. I can tune in and LCS is going to be on this Twitch channel.
Yeah.
And only this Twitch channel. It's only going to be on there. Yeah, it'll be hosted in a bunch of other places, but if I tune into this Twitch channel, I'm only going to get that. I'm not going to get basketball or gridiron or baseball or
or I don't have to get the ad break and watch coming up next, you better hang around. We're going to play some Call of Duty after this amazing League of Legends game. I hope you're excited.
Although that would be pretty cool.
Yeah, that actually would be pretty cool. But you know, it is the scheduling, the broadcasting scheduling is all set up for the exact same scheduling every single week that the season is live. So I don't think it's the scheduling that's the problem. I think it is the placing.
I think a new TV station would happen. I think I think rather than us taking conventional sport time slots or actual real IRL sports, not chess.
Tomorrow on ESPN 17.
Yeah, I think they'd start up a new television channel, and they'd start hosting all the national esports that are happening throughout that whole day. I think they'd have a 24/7 sports channel.
Collegiate championships out here in Arizona.
Yeah.
Then you flick over an hour later, you've got Texas.
Just on Riot Games alone, with no other sports, you've almost got 24-hour streaming between Korea, LPL, OPL. Like, you turn on Riot Games and you're watching League.
Yeah, and if they had their own channel, like it's actually like people who watch League of Legends don't only watch League of Legends. Like CS:GO and League of Legends are actually a lot closer than I thought. Like, a lot of people who play CS:GO also watch League of Legends. A lot of people who play League of Legends watch CS:GO. A lot of people watch both of them. Like, those are two games that get watched by the same people. So I think a channel where they were playing a variety of games, playing the best game, they're playing the games of the day from the different shooters and strategy games and RTS
cool.
games.
Play of the day.
Yeah, and I think they'd have their own programs. I think we'd have the like the Australian Footy Show sort of equivalent for League of Legends, where Stupid Sam comes on and does something fucking retarded, and it's also Mod Bro.
I'll take that.
Yeah. I'd be down for that.
That's mouse.
Thank you.
That's gold.
Yeah, I know. I'm with you. So, like, that's it.
I don't get
I was
it.
with you 110%, mate.
Yeah.
And Bo was doing it too. You just can't see him because
Yeah,
his camera's
because
off.
the thing about, like, I don't watch conventional sports. I don't really enjoy conventional sports that much. Like, sometimes I'll watch, like, a gridiron match, and I really enjoy that because I love the strategy behind it all. Oh, Scott, you just got left hanging. You poor bastard. Oh, cool bananas. But, like, the people who watch basketball are not likely to hang around if the next game is World Finals for League of Legends. I don't think, because I think you have to separate them at some point because of the different viewer base. You know, we gotta cater to our audiences, and our audiences watching Gridiron are not going to be the same audiences watching National Finals, Capture the Flag, Call of Duty, Advanced Warfare. You know,
But at the same
love
time,
to see
that's
it, though,
how
'cause-
you get new players. Is you have to market it that, so you have it following the national basketball.
I would actually
Yeah,
love to
that's
see that. So it follows like the gridiron,
But-
and it's like, and next up we've got a drinking game. Every time you see one of those little fellas on the screen fall over, do a shot at whiskey. And I reckon I'd get thousands of viewerships from the colleges.
I don't know, like, Okay,
Big industries.
someone else.
Fair enough.
Yeah,
Good
I
point.
mean,
Okay.
yeah,
I think we're done. I think we covered that.
yeah.
Quite well.
I think that was a good discussion. Do we have anything else we wanted to talk about? I don't know how long we've gone for. I think
Long enough.
An hour? Oh, no, wait. 55 minutes.
Yeah.
Perfect. All right. If you have anything to say on this topic, if you believe League of Legends should be an esport only,
It is an
and,
esport.
and never
Look who
an
just
actual
came on.
sport or a real sport, then
IRL.
please, hit us up on Twitter. And hopefully, to close this out, we'll get Trouble Mind on here. Nope.
Hi guys, what's you
Straight off
doing?
Yeah, I swear to God, you guys said 10:45. But anyways, so if you have anything, hit me up at.
That's
Boss
actually
Mothra.
really, really funny. He just messaged me on Twitter.
Did he?
I'm not kidding.
Should we start again? This is a good practice, guys.
Yeah, there
man.
he is. He just posted in Skype. So, if you were wondering where Tribal Mind was, he's in Skype. He's just not here.
That's
But
alright.
we
I'll be,
might-
I'll be trouble, guys. Hey guys, I thought it was every 2 weeks.
Wow, it's a new voice to text option, text to voice option. That's cool. Alrighty, let's do this.
Okay.
Let's finally finish.
Thank you everyone for watching,
I
listening.
suppose that's a wrap.
That is
That's
a
a
wrap.
wrap.
Yay!
We need someone to eat a wrap.
Puns!